Welcome to my channel. Do you still think in your native language and then try to speak in English? What if I told you that this one habit is the biggest reason your English sounds slow and unnatural? I used to do the same. I would think in my language, then try to find the English words, and then speak. It felt slow. It felt hard. I made many mistakes. But something changed. Today, I'll show you how to stop translating and start speaking naturally, with real tricks that actually work. These tricks help me speak English without fear, without delay, and without confusion. They can help you too. Stay with me. This could change everything. Chapter 1. My problem with translating every word. When I started learning English, I had one big habit. I translated everything in my head, word by word, sentence by sentence. I would hear a question in English, but my brain did not answer in English. First, I thought in my native language. Then I tried to find the English words. Then I tried to speak. But by the time I opened my mouth, it was already too late. The moment was gone. People were waiting for me to speak, and I felt stuck. I was silent, or I said something wrong. Sometimes I just smiled and nodded, even when I didn't understand. This happened all the time, at school, in shops, at home, even on the internet. I saw English, and I panicked. I wanted to reply. I wanted to talk. But I could not speak naturally. My English was slow. My English was broken. My English was not me. And I knew why. It was because I was trying to translate everything in my head. I remember one moment clearly. I was at a family dinner. My cousin had returned from abroad. He spoke perfect English. He asked me a simple question. "What do you like to do in your free time?" I knew the answer in my language. I wanted to say, I like reading books and watching movies. But I couldn't say it. I tried to translate every word. I like book. I see film. My voice shook. My sentence was wrong. Everyone laughed, not to hurt me, but I felt small. I felt like a failure. That night I cried. I looked at myself in the mirror. I said, "Why can't I speak? I know the words. I know the grammar. I study every day. But when it's time to talk, I freeze." I realized something. The problem was not my memory. The problem was not my brain. The problem was translation. I thought translation was helping me, but it was actually blocking me. It made me slow. It made me unsure. It made me scared. I understood that my brain was doing too much. First, it translated. Then, it tried to fix the grammar. Then, it worried about the sentence. No wonder I couldn't speak well. I was not thinking in English. I was translating in my head, and that was the mistake. After that night, I made a promise to myself. I said, "No more translation. I will find a better way." That was the beginning of a big change. A small decision, but a powerful one. I knew it wouldn't be easy. I knew I would still make mistakes. But I was ready to stop depending on my native language. I wanted to speak English directly, naturally, confidently. If you feel this way, if you translate every word and still feel stuck, then I want to tell you, you are not alone. I was there. I understand your struggle. I know how it feels. And I also know that you can change it. This is the first step, understanding the problem. And the problem is not you. The problem is translating every word in your head. In the next chapter, I will tell you why translating doesn't work and why your brain needs a better way to learn English. Stay with me. The change begins here. Chapter 2. Why translating doesn't work. When we learn English, most of us begin with translation. It feels like the only way. We know our language, so we try to use it as a bridge. We hear something in English, and our brain runs back to our mother tongue to understand it. Then we search for the English words to say. But this method doesn't help when you want to speak fluently. In fact, it stops you. Let me explain why. Every language has its own structure, its own word order, its own grammar rules. What sounds normal in one language sounds strange in another. For example, in my language we say, Main seb khatahun. If I try to translate it directly, it becomes, I apple eat. But in English, we don't say it like that. We say, I eat apple. The words are the same, but the order is different. If I translate directly, the sentence is wrong. This is the biggest problem with translating. Your brain tries to follow the rules of your language while speaking English. It mixes the two, and that creates confusion. You feel nervous. You stop in the middle. You lose confidence. You say, why can't I speak properly? But the truth is, it's not your fault. It's the habit of translation that causes this problem. Sometimes there are words in your language that don't even exist in English, or the meaning changes. For example, we might say something in our language to show respect or to speak formally. But in English, the same sentence becomes too cold or too direct. It changes the feeling. It changes the message. Translation breaks that emotion. The listener feels something else, not what you meant. That's not all. Some English phrases cannot be translated at all. For example, think about idioms. We say, it's raining cats and dogs. If we try to translate this into another language, it will sound funny or nonsense. It's not about animals. It means heavy rain. But if you always translate in your head, you will miss the meaning. You will say something wrong, or stay silent because it doesn't make sense. I used to do this. Every time I wanted to speak, I first created the sentence in my language. Then I translated it in my head. Then I spoke. But it took too long. I always felt behind. People spoke fast. I was still thinking. The moment was gone. I missed my chance. I stayed quiet. I felt small. It became clear to me, English is not just new words, it's a new way of thinking. You can't use your language's map to travel in English. You need a new map. You need to learn how English sentences work. You need to learn to think in English, not translate into it. This truth was hard for me at first. I thought, if I don't translate, how will I understand? But the real question is, if I keep translating, how will I ever speak naturally? This question changed me. It woke me up. I realized that I needed to train my brain to think directly in English, even if it was slow in the beginning. I had to stop using my first language as a support. I had to walk on my own. And the good news? Your brain can do it. It just needs time. It needs training. It needs the right practice. In the next chapter, I will tell you what happened the day I decided to stop translating, and how that one choice helped me take my first real step toward natural English. If you have been translating every sentence in your head, don't worry. Many people do. I did it too. But now you know the reason why it doesn't work. You are ready to try something better. Let's take that step together. Chapter 2. Why translating doesn't work. When I was learning English, I thought translation was the best way. I thought, I already know my language, so I will just translate each sentence into English. It sounded easy, it felt safe, but I was wrong. That method made my English slow. It made me feel confused. It made me speak with fear. I didn't know it in the beginning, but later I understood. Translation was the biggest mistake I was making. Let me tell you why. Every language is different. The words are different. The grammar is different. Even the word order is different. In my language, we say, Mein Seb Katahun. If I translate it directly into English, I say, I apple eat. But this is wrong in English. The correct way is, I eat apple. So you can see, if we try to translate word by word, the sentence becomes strange. People will not understand us, or they will think we don't know English, and we lose confidence. That's just one sentence. Now think about long sentences. Think about feelings, emotions, jokes, or idioms. They are even harder to translate. For example, in English, people say, break the ice. But if I translate it into my language, it means breaking real ice. That makes no sense. But in English, break the ice means to start a conversation in a friendly way. So if we try to translate, we lose the meaning. We lose the real message. We say wrong things, or we say nothing at all. When we translate, our brain does extra work. It hears English, then it goes back to our native language. Then it tries to make a sentence. Then it comes back to English. This takes time. It's like walking in a big circle when you can just take one step straight. This is why we feel slow when we speak. This is why we feel tired. This is why we feel nervous, because our brain is doing too much. I remember when someone asked me in English, "What do you do?" I wanted to answer. I knew what to say in my language, but I started translating in my head, and I forgot the English words. I said, I do study, work, something. It didn't make sense. I saw the other person's face. They didn't understand me, and I felt ashamed. I said to myself, why can't I speak clearly? But now I know the answer. I was translating. And I also remember another moment. I heard someone speak English without stopping. They were not translating. They were thinking in English. Their sentences were not perfect, but they sounded natural. I thought, how do they do it? The answer was simple. They had stopped translating. They had trained their brain to think directly in English. That was the day I started to understand. Translation is not the real way. Translation is just the beginning. It helps for a short time. But if you want to speak fluently, you must let it go. You must build a new way, a way where English lives in your mind, not just in your notebook. So, if you are always translating before you speak, it's okay. Many learners do it. I did it too. But now you know the truth. It doesn't work in the long run. It makes you slow. It makes you nervous. It takes your confidence away. That's why you must take the next step. And don't worry, I will help you. In the next chapter, I will tell you what happened on the day I stopped translating. That day changed everything for me. That day was the beginning of my real English-speaking journey. Let's go there together. Chapter 3. The day I stopped translating. I still remember the day. It was quiet outside. The sky was gray. I was sitting at my study table looking at my English book. I had a pen in my hand and a notebook full of words I had translated. I had written meanings in my language for every English word I learned. Page after page. Word after word. I thought I was doing the right thing. But I still couldn't speak. I still couldn't think in English. And I felt tired. Tired of translating. Tired of forgetting. Tired of feeling small when someone spoke English fast. That day, something inside me broke. Not in a bad way. In a way that wakes you up. I asked myself, how long will I do this? How long will I be afraid to speak? How long will I need translation to survive in English? My heart felt heavy. My eyes were wet. I had tried so hard. I had studied so much. But still, I couldn't express my own thoughts. Suddenly, I closed the book. I looked at the words and I said, "No more." I knew something had to change. I couldn't keep doing the same thing and expect something new to happen. So I made a decision, a real one. I said, from today, I will stop translating in my head. I will learn English in a new way. I will think in English, even if I make mistakes. It was scary. I won't lie. It felt like leaving something safe. Translation was like a crutch. It helped me walk when I couldn't stand on my own. And now I was throwing it away. I was afraid. What if I couldn't speak at all? What if I forgot everything? But deep down, something stronger was growing. Hope. A little voice said, "Try. Just try. You have nothing to lose." So I did. That day, I chose to speak to myself only in English. Simple words, small sentences. I said, "I am hungry. I will eat now. This is a spoon. This is a chair." I didn't think in my language. I didn't translate. I only used what I already knew in English. And something amazing happened. I felt free. I felt light. I felt like my mind had space to breathe. It wasn't perfect. I still forgot words. I still got stuck. But it was real. It was mine. And I wasn't afraid anymore. I was learning in a natural way, the way a child learns their first language. Slowly, with mistakes, but with honesty. That night, I went to bed and smiled. For the first time, I had spoken English without using my native language. Not in a big conversation, not in front of people, just with myself. But it was a start. And it meant everything to me. From that day, I made it a rule. No more translation in my head. I would try to think in English as much as I could. When I saw something, I said the word in English. When I felt something, I tried to describe it in English. I feel tired. This is beautiful. She is smiling. It felt strange at first, but after some time it became easier. It became normal. That day was not just about stopping translation. It was about taking control, about believing in myself, about saying, yes, I can learn English naturally. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be brave. Maybe you are also at that point. Maybe you are tired of translating just like I was. Maybe your heart also says, try a new way. If yes, then do it. Trust me, you can. It's not easy, but it is powerful. In the next chapter, I will tell you how I began thinking in English using small, simple words. That's how I trained my brain to work in English without fear, without translation. And you can do it too. Let's take that step together. Chapter 4. Think in English with small words first. After I stopped translating in my head, I felt free. But I was also confused. I thought, if I don't translate, what do I do instead? I needed a new way, a better way. That's when I found the first step, thinking in English with small words. Very small, very simple. I'm talking about easy sentences like, I am happy, this is a pen, or he is here. That's how I began. That's how I trained my brain to think in English without fear. You don't need big grammar to begin. You don't need long, complex ideas. You just need small, safe sentences that feel like home. When I woke up in the morning, I would say to myself, I am awake. I would look outside and say, it is sunny. I would look in the mirror and say, I am tired. No one was watching. No one was judging. I was just thinking in English, one small sentence at a time. This was new for me. Before, I always tried to say big things. I wanted to sound smart. I wanted to speak like native speakers. But that only made me more afraid. I would start a sentence and stop halfway. My brain got stuck. My words disappeared. That's why I say this now. Don't begin with long sentences. That's the wrong way. It looks powerful, but it makes your journey slow. It takes away your confidence. It brings back the habit of translation. And we don't want that. So here's what to do. Start simple. Use what you know. Say small things in English to yourself every day. This is my phone. The tea is hot. I am busy. She is kind. These are not just sentences. These are thoughts. And every thought is a little seed. When you plant many seeds, they grow. That's how fluency begins. Here's one trick I used, and it helped me a lot. I looked around me and named things in English. If I saw a chair, I said, chair. If I saw a clock, I said, clock. If I saw my shoes, I said, these are shoes. It was simple, but it worked. My brain started using English without asking for translation. It became a game for me. Every time I saw something, I said the word in English. You can try this too. Look around right now. What do you see? A wall? A window? A light? Just say the name in English. Then try to make a tiny sentence. This is a wall. The window is open. The light is on. That's it. Don't try to say something deep or clever. Not yet. Just practice short, clear thoughts. You can also use your feelings. When you feel something, try to say it in English. I am cold. I feel sleepy. I am hungry. These feelings are part of daily life. And when you use English to express them, your brain starts to think naturally in English. You stop running to your native language. You stop translating. Sometimes I would even speak to myself while walking, softly, just to practice. I am going to the market. I see a dog. There are many people here. It felt strange in the beginning, but after a few days, it felt normal. And after a few weeks, I could think in English without effort. It became my habit. Thinking in English is not about grammar tests or big words. It's about building small moments every day. These moments become your new language path. You don't even realize how strong you are becoming. But slowly, your brain starts to live in English. And here's something important. Don't wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. The best time is now. Right now, this moment. You can start with one word, one sentence, one thought. That's all it takes. In the next chapter, I'll tell you how I started speaking before I felt ready. Because the truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. And that's okay. Fluency comes when you step forward even when you feel nervous. Let me share how I did it, and how you can too. Chapter 5. Speak before you're ready. I want to tell you something important today, something that changed my life. You don't need to be ready to start speaking English. You don't need to wait. You don't need to be perfect. If you wait until you're ready, you may wait forever. I know this because I waited too long. I kept thinking, I need more words first. I need better grammar. I will speak when I'm perfect. But that day never came. I was learning, but I wasn't speaking. And that was the biggest problem. Then one day, I said something in English. It was short. It was broken. It had mistakes. But it was real. I said, I go shop now. A small sentence. Wrong grammar. But I said it. And do you know what happened? The person understood me. They smiled. They answered. They didn't laugh. They didn't judge. That moment gave me courage. That was the day I stopped waiting to be perfect. In the beginning, I made many mistakes. Sometimes I said, he go to school instead of he goes to school. Sometimes I forgot the right word. Sometimes I felt embarrassed. But slowly, I understood something. Mistakes are not the enemy. Silence is. If you stay silent, you don't grow. But if you speak, even with mistakes, you learn. You become better every time. I remember one day in class, the teacher asked me to explain something in English. My heart was racing. I wanted to hide. But I stood up. I said, This, is the book we read yesterday. I was shaking. My voice was low. I felt everyone was watching. But do you know what happened next? The teacher said, Good try. She helped me fix the sentence. My classmates clapped. I didn't feel stupid. I felt brave. That was the first time I felt proud of my English. Maybe you feel scared too. Maybe you think people will laugh. Maybe someone laughed at you before, and it hurt. I know that pain. I felt it too. But let me tell you, the real people, the kind people, they never laugh. They listen. They help. And even if someone does laugh, it says more about them than about you. You are learning. You are trying. And that is something to be proud of. Start with easy sentences. Say them out loud, even when you are alone. This is my phone. I am tired. I want coffee. Speak these words. Don't just think them. Let your mouth practice. Let your voice learn the rhythm of English. Speak in the mirror. Speak to your friend. Speak to your pet. It doesn't matter who hears you. What matters is that you speak. Here are some beginner sentences you can start with. My name is Ali. I am from United States. This is my bag. I like tea. The weather is hot today. She is my friend. I study English every day. These sentences are simple, but they are powerful. They are your first steps. Say them again and again. Make them a part of you. And soon, you will not just say them, you will feel them. You will believe in them. That is how speaking becomes natural. I want to remind you again, don't wait. Speak now. Even if it's just one word, even if it's not perfect, even if your voice shakes, speak. Every time you speak, you take one more step, one more victory, one more reason to believe in yourself. In the next chapter, I will share a special trick that helped me stop translating words. A trick that changed how I think and speak. I call it using images, not words. This method made English come alive in my mind. I will show you how to do it too. Let's keep going. You are doing great. Chapter 6. Use images, not words. There is one trick that changed the way I learned English. It made everything faster, easier, and more natural. I call it a secret because no one told me this in school. But once I found it, I felt like I had discovered something powerful. The trick is simple. Stop using your language and start using images. Let me explain. When you learn the word apple, what do you see in your mind? Do you see the word written in your language? Do you think Seb or manzana or any other word in your language? That's what I used to do. Every English word had a partner in my language. I said apple, but in my head, I saw the word from my language. My brain was not learning English. It was learning translation. But one day, I changed that. I looked at a real apple. I picked it up. I said, apple. I didn't think of the word in my language. I didn't try to translate. I just looked at the fruit and said the word in English. I said it again. Apple. Slowly, something amazing happened. My brain started to connect the English word directly to the image, not the translation. That was the moment I started thinking in English. Here's the secret. Your brain is very smart. It learns best with images. When you were a baby, you didn't learn your first language with a dictionary. You saw things, heard the words, and connected them. The same trick works with English. You don't need your native language to understand. You need pictures in your mind. Try this now. Look around your room. Pick one object. Maybe it's a chair. Don't say the word in your language. Just look at it and say, chair. Look again. Chair. Say it softly. Say it loudly. Say it with a smile. Your brain will remember it. Not as a translation, but as a real thing with an English name. I use this trick every day. I used it with body parts. I looked at my hand and said, hand. I touched my nose and said, nose. I pointed to my eyes and said, eyes. I didn't use my native language. I didn't need to. The image was enough. The English word was enough. I also used this trick with actions. When I was walking, I said, I am walking. When I was eating, I said, I am eating. I saw the action, and I used English to name it. I didn't say the word in my head first and then translate. I just lived it in English. You can use this method for feelings too. When I felt sad, I said, I am sad. I didn't go back to my language. I looked at my face in the mirror. I saw the emotion. I said, the English word. This is how the brain starts to think in English. Slowly, naturally, through pictures and moments. Now let me give you a few beginner exercises. These will help you train your brain. Object practice. Take 5 things around you. Say their English names 3 times. Look at them, touch them, feel them, no translation. Action words. While doing anything, eating, drinking, writing, say the action in English. I am drinking water. I am opening the door. Say what you're doing, not what you're thinking in your language. Feeling. Check. Every few hours, ask yourself, how do I feel? Use English to answer. I am tired. I am excited. I feel okay. Do these daily. You will see the magic. Your brain will stop asking for translations. It will go straight to English. That's when you'll know you are starting to live in English. When I started doing this, I felt something strange at first. It was like letting go of an old friend, my first language. But then I realized something. I wasn't losing anything. I was gaining something new. I was building a new world inside me, a world where I didn't need to translate anymore. In the next chapter, I'll show you another powerful trick. We will stop learning only words and start learning phrases. Because when you use phrases, you speak faster, you sound natural, and you don't have to build every sentence from zero. Let's keep going. It gets easier from here. Chapter 7. Learn phrases, not words. When I first started learning English, I focused only on words. I made long lists of vocabulary. I wrote them in notebooks. I repeated them again and again. I memorized words like book, pen, apple, run, eat. I thought I was learning fast. But when I had to speak, I didn't know how. I had the words, but I couldn't use them in real conversation. I didn't know how to connect them. That's when I understood something important. Words are not enough. You need phrases. Learning phrases changed everything for me. When you learn full phrases, your brain learns how English is used in real life. You don't need to build a sentence every time. You don't need to think so much. The words come together automatically. It feels easy. It feels natural. Let me give you an example. Instead of learning the word name, I learned the phrase, "What's your name?" It's short, it's useful, and I can use it anytime. Instead of learning help, I learned, "Can I help you?" Instead of learning understand, I learned, "I don't understand." These are full sentences, real phrases. They helped me speak faster and with more confidence. Here are some phrases I learned first. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Excuse me. Can you repeat that? What do you mean? Where are you from? I like it. That's okay. I'm sorry. See you later. These are not difficult, but they are powerful. I use them every day. I practice them in front of the mirror. I said them while walking. I use them in small talks with friends. And slowly, they became part of me. I didn't need to think. My mouth just said the words. I also kept a small notebook. Every time I heard a useful phrase, I wrote it down. If I heard someone say, "It doesn't matter," I wrote it. If I saw the phrase, "Let's go," I added it. My list grew day by day. It became my personal phrase book, and I used it more than any grammar book or vocabulary list. Here's why this method works. Phrases teach you grammar without you noticing. When you say, "I don't understand," you are using grammar. But you're not thinking about rules. You're just saying what you've practiced. It's like learning music. You don't study notes one by one. You learn whole songs. That's how English works too. Learn the songs, the phrases. Let me show you a mistake many learners make. They memorize 100 words, but they can't speak. They know go, store, want, but they can't say, "I want to go to the store." That's the problem. Words are like puzzle pieces. Phrases are like the full picture. If you only have pieces, you will struggle to build anything. So from today, don't just learn words. Learn how those words live together. Learn the common phrases. Use them in real life. Write them. Speak them. Repeat them. You don't need hundreds at once. Start with 5 phrases a day. Practice them like songs, and use them as much as you can. Here's a little exercise. Pick 3 phrases from this video. Say them out loud. Now make small changes. For example, can I help you? Can you help me? I like it. I don't like it. Where are you from? Where is she from? See how the phrases grow? How they open more doors? This is how we build fluency. Not by memorizing words, but by using ready-made phrases in real situations. In the next chapter, I'll tell you about a secret technique called shadowing. This helped me sound more natural when I spoke English. It's a fun and powerful trick, and it works, even if you're a beginner. Get ready, we're almost there. Chapter 8. Shadowing changed everything. There is one technique that changed the way I speak English. It made my words smoother, my voice clearer, and my confidence stronger. It's called shadowing. When I first heard about it, I didn't believe it would work. It sounded strange. Repeat after a video? Like a parrot? I laughed a little. But something in me said, just try it once. So I did. And that was the beginning of something amazing. Shadowing means you listen to a native English speaker, and you repeat exactly what they say at the same time or just a second after. You copy their words, their tone, their pauses, their speed. It's not about understanding every word. It's about feeling the language, becoming the voice. It's like being their shadow. You follow them closely, word for word. The first time I tried it, I picked a short video on YouTube, a simple English story for kids. I put on my headphones. I pressed play. The speaker said, "Hello, my name is Tom," and I repeated, "Hello, my name is Tom." It felt funny. I was alone in my room, talking to a screen. I smiled at myself. This is silly, I thought, but I kept going. I like apples. I like apples. This is my house. This is my house. After just 5 minutes, I noticed something. I wasn't thinking in my language. I wasn't translating. I was just copying the sounds. And for the first time, my English didn't feel broken. It felt alive. I started doing shadowing every day, just 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes with stories, sometimes with news, sometimes with short conversations. I chose easy videos at first. I listened. I spoke. I paused. I played again. I copied everything, even the and the yeah. I tried to become the speaker, and slowly, something changed. My pronunciation got better. I didn't sound like a robot anymore. I started using natural rhythm. My voice flowed. I didn't pause so much. I didn't feel stuck. I didn't feel scared. Before shadowing, I would speak and stop, speak and think, speak and worry. After shadowing, my sentences came out more smoothly. I had more control. I had more music in my voice. That's the power of shadowing. It trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain all at the same time. Let me show you how you can try it too. Choose a short English video, maybe 1 to 2 minutes long. Pick something easy to understand. You can find many on YouTube. Put on your headphones and listen to the first sentence. Pause and repeat. Say the sentence exactly like the speaker. Try to match their tone, speed, and feeling. Play it again and speak at the same time. Try to shadow without pausing. Repeat the same video for 2 to 3 days. The goal is to sound just like them. Don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. I didn't either. At first, I spoke too slowly. My timing was off. My words didn't match. But I didn't stop. Every day, I got better. And you will too. Shadowing is not just for pronunciation. It helps you speak faster. It helps you understand spoken English better. It teaches you real phrases, real intonation, real English, not the textbook kind. And the best part? You don't need anyone else. You can do it alone, just you and your voice. That's what makes this practice so powerful. It builds your fluency in silence. And one day, when you finally speak in public, people will say, "Wow, you sound natural." I still do shadowing, even today, just a few minutes every day. It's my way of staying connected to English. It's like exercise for my speaking muscles, and every time I do it, I feel more confident. Now that you know this trick, You can try it today. Pick a video, hit play, be the voice. Don't just learn English, feel it, live it, speak it. And in the final chapter, I will show you how to make English part of your life, not just a subject you study. This is the last and most important step. Stay with me. We are almost there. Chapter 9. Make English a part of your life. This is the final chapter, and it is the most important one, because now you know all the tricks. You know why translating doesn't work. You know how to think in English with small words. You know how to speak before you're ready. You've learned to use images, phrases, and shadowing. But here's the truth. Tricks only work if you use them every day. English is not just something you study. It has to become a part of your life. That's what I did. I stopped thinking of English as a school subject. I stopped waiting for the right time to study. I started living with English. I made it my habit, my routine, my second skin. It became part of everything I do, not just in books, but in my thoughts, my voice, my world. Every morning, I started my day with English. Before checking my phone, I said, "Good morning. I feel fresh today." Just one sentence. Then I would look outside and describe what I saw. The sky is blue. The sun is bright. These were small moments, but powerful. They helped my brain stay in English mode. I listened to English songs while brushing my teeth. I didn't understand every word, but I sang along anyway. I learned lines by heart. Let it go, or I'm on top of the world. Music made English fun. It trained my ears without pressure. It gave me rhythm and joy. I watched short videos in English during lunch. Not long, just 5 minutes. A story, a cartoon, a scene from a movie. I tried to repeat what I heard. I paused. I shadowed. I smiled when I understood something new. I was not just watching. I was learning without knowing. When I walked to class or went outside, I named things in English. Tree, car, window, cloud. Then I started adding feelings. The air is cold. That bird is loud. I am tired. I was talking to myself in my mind, all in English. It felt strange at first, but then it became normal. English became my thinking language. I also made small talk with people. Just a few lines. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I like your bag. I didn't wait for perfect English. I just tried. And every time I tried, I got better. I read English storybooks for children. They were simple and beautiful. I underlined new words. I guessed the meaning from the pictures. Reading made me smarter. It made me feel calm. I wrote one sentence in my journal every night. Today I learned something new. Or, I made a mistake, but I am proud I tried. This was not homework. This was my life. Soon something changed inside me. I stopped saying, I am learning English. I started saying, I live in English. And that made all the difference. My confidence grew. My speaking improved. My fear disappeared. Because I was no longer just a learner. I was a speaker. You don't need to study 8 hours a day. You don't need a perfect teacher. You don't need expensive books. You just need to bring English into your world. One small moment at a time, every day. Let English walk with you, talk with you, laugh with you, think with you. This is not just practice. This is who you become. English is not just something you do. It becomes a part of you, a part of your story, a part of your voice. So if you feel lost or tired, remember this. You are not alone. I was like you. I struggled. I doubted myself, but I kept going, and now I speak freely. You can too. You have everything you need. You just need to start and never stop. In the next moment, say one sentence in English, any sentence. Speak it out loud. That's your first step. Then take another and another. And one day you'll look back and say, yes, I did it. You are not learning English anymore. You are living it. If this video helped you understand how to stop translating and start thinking in English, then please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and write in the comments. I will speak naturally. Your one comment could inspire another English learner who is feeling shy, nervous, or unsure. And remember, you don't need perfect English. You need real, simple, natural English, and you can do it. Speak with heart. Speak with courage. Speak with love. Your journey has already begun. Now, keep moving forward.